Hi, bookish friends. It's your girl Alyssa, and I am here with a swoon-worthy, beautiful romance kind of vibe. I'm here with the debut author of Love in the Key of Black, Shanti Edwards. How are you, Shanti?
Hi, I'm so good and I'm so excited. Thank you for having me. I'm just super excited to dive in.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I cannot wait to discuss your new book, Love in the Key of Black, that just came out this summer. Can you tell me a little bit more about what this book is about and what listeners have to look forward to as they get their copies now?
Sure. So, Love in the Key of Black, it's my very first novel, and it is a collection of short stories that is celebrating Black love through music. So, there's multiple stories with different plots, different characters, different settings. So, we have a story in New Orleans, a story in Philly, two stories that take place in the DMV area. So really just highlighting the way that music can be passionate, it can be healing, and there's a variety of different romance tropes. So definitely something for all types of readers. And it is also formatted similar to a soundtrack because I really wanted to incorporate the music theme and the elements and really make it feel like a nostalgic 90s R&B album.
Ooh, I absolutely adore that. I also have had my eye on your book for a hot minute. I've had friends who are like adding to their calendar, waiting for it to come out.
I
Um,
love
I'm
that.
here for it. Love in the Key of Back. The cover is gorgeous. It has a beautiful black woman. Her fro is giving, which is the dream. She's in a maroon dress holding a cocktail, and a man is watching her as he plays the keys, and a city glows behind them. The cover is gorgeous. For
Oh, thank
listeners who are like listening, look
yeah.
up this cover because it's absolutely stunning. Did you have a say in the design of the cover? How involved were you?
I was super involved, probably like too involved. I wanted it to be perfect. So I originally had a different cover, which I really loved as well, but I felt like something was missing. So I went back to the drawing board a little bit. And so I've worked with like multiple artists to kind of get the like perfect cover for my first novel. I just really wanted it to kind of capture that like romantic, vibey, moody element.
Mm.
And so I am so happy with the way it turned out. But it definitely was sort of like a long process to get there.
Girl, I have had like I was waiting for your book to come out because I was like, and into my cart you go. Boom. Like I think that a good romance should have amazing chemistry.
Mhm.
And especially in an anthology like short stories as well, a collection. I always am so sad when when the story ends because I just want the story to go on forever.
I know.
Did you have a feeling with that, like with writing these short stories? Were there any short stories that you were like, dang, I kind of want to make this a full blown thing, or was it easy to like stop it at a certain point?
So yes and no. So I would say that I was a creative writing major in undergrad, and one of my favorite classes was a short fiction course. And so I fell in love with the format of just kind of you only have like so many words to be able to capture everything that you want to capture. So you have to be very like powerful, succinct, and kind of strategic about how you do it. But I also think like short fiction and these short stories, they leave you wanting more. But you also walk away feeling satisfied at the same time. And I feel like that is very similar to like how love and romance should be. Like you're satisfied, but you want more and all the things. So I really felt like it was kind of parallel in that sense. Um, and I definitely, you never know, there might be like a part two for some of these
Ooh.
stories. Like I definitely feel like there's so much more that I could add. Even with the secondary characters, I think there's just a lot to explore. And I know people have been like, I never wanted it to end. And I'm like, I know. So yeah, stay tuned.
Okay, I'm vibing. I already have this on my Kindle. I bought it so quick. The moment you were like, it's out now, I was like, what did she say? Boom, in my cart, in my Kindle.
I appreciate
Um,
that.
I have to say that like what pulled me to your book initially before my friends got in my ear was that I am a really big fan of people who create playlists dedicating it to a crush or to a partner. Some
Yeah,
may have gotten a mixtape back in the day.
right. A little
Some
bumper
people,
CD.
yeah, a little CD, you know. The amount of effort and intention that goes into music and pairing it with a book we've seen a lot of that in literature recently. With these short stories, would you like to give listeners a teaser, like for each short story, a song that matched that
Yeah,
vibe?
I love that. Okay. So, for all the listeners, my book, like I said, is formatted sort of like a soundtrack. So we have like track one, track two, track three. And so track one is the story that takes place in New Orleans. And it's a jazz focused story. And so for me, I feel like it would either be like a Robert Glasper song or like a Masego song because one of the main characters plays the saxophone. So um, I think I'll go with Masego, Tadao. Like that,
Mm.
like the mood of that story. And I will say while I was writing it, I was listening to music, so like music definitely inspired the entire thing. And I can see it like very vividly and hear it very vividly too.
Oh
Uh
my gosh, I love that.
yeah. And then so track two is a story that takes place in Philadelphia at a summer block party. Um, this is a good, let's see. I would say that the song for me might be um Outstanding by the Gap Band. Just like a kind of a throwback, like classic that you hear at a cookout. Like I feel like that might be the song for track two. And then for track three, which takes place in the DMV, which is my hometown, I am gonna go with Sexy Lady. It's a go-go song because my the story really does like highlight go-go music because of like the DMV influence and wanting to spotlight DMV culture. So I'm gonna go with Sexy Lady, which is like a very popular song in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area.
That's beautiful. With each like reference to the songs that you would choose linked to these short stories, I could see the glow and like genuinely how happy you are with like the influence you've had with these stories, pouring the love into these stories. When you write, I love asking authors this. When you write, do you imagine the characters and the moments like a movie in your mind, or does the story kind of reveal itself to you on paper, where it's more so words and like feelings?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of both. I definitely feel like I am like picturing each scene in my head as I'm writing.
Mm.
Sometimes I definitely experience writer's block for sure. So sometimes I'm like, oh, there's nothing there. I don't know. We're gonna have to write tomorrow. But I do feel like when I'm like in a very creative flow, like I am seeing everything unfold in my brain very vividly. And I think especially like the music aspect really helped with that too. And the reason that I chose music as sort of like the theme throughout was because I was sitting down and I like had a blank screen and I was like, I don't know what to write. I have no idea where to start. And so I just like started listening to music and then like watching music videos from like the 90s and like feeling like, oh, okay, this is like my inspiration. And so for me, it does actually feel like a movie is playing out in my head while I'm writing a lot of times. And I think that also goes to like my love for like Black cinema and just storytelling in general.
Mm. Speaking of Black cinema and storytelling, what are some movies or shows that influenced a little bit of these short stories?
Yeah, okay. So definitely Insecure by my girl Issa Rae. Like I feel like I've always watched this at least once a year and I take something different from it each time. And that's something that I hope that my book does for readers. It is a shorter read, but I feel like that allows readers to kind of come back to it at different
Mm.
moments in their life. And I feel like I always do that with Insecure. There's some humor, there's some like navigating adulthood and careers and relationships and family issues. So I think all of that was sort of like an influence for my book as well. I also would say Brown Sugar, the movie, I think that really influenced it. Like, when they're sort of like, when did you first fall in love with hip hop? It all just like I was like seeing that movie in my head as I was writing as well. Um, and then I would say other things like Love Jones is like a big one for me. Thinking of other TV shows. Honestly, I would also say this is more of like a young adult romance TV show, but Forever. Like I really loved like the um adaptation of that book into film, and it was just like such a beautiful, like I feel like every scene in that TV show was just so beautiful and so well done. And so when I was writing, I was thinking about like, okay, if I were to change this to a movie, how would this be adapted and what would that look like?
I really really like that art is creating art. So when you're watching a movie or you're watching a show, now you're creating a book that maybe gives you the same energy or vibes. How would you have done it differently?
Mhm.
I feel like Love Jones has sparked a lot of like poets, a lot of romantics, a little bit of drama,
Yeah.
a great debates,
Right.
things like that. Why'd I Get Married? A lot of stories about second chance romances in a marriage in
Mhm.
trouble. We're seeing stories with that coming out,
Yeah.
giving energy like to Before I Fall by Kennedy Ryan. Like we're seeing people reading stories about real life like problems with fictional characters who people are relating to, you
Mm.
know, and Black women getting loved on, and it's
Exactly.
timeless.
Exactly.
It's timeless. Like and when people say like they look at the 90s and like, oh, you're 90s fine, it's this energy of like the effortless kind of beauty. But we
Hmm.
know that beauty is not in, I mean, to some
Yeah.
extent,
Yeah.
I mean, to some extent, it's effortless, but like,
Yeah.
you know, the maintenance and the care that gets poured into Black folks, both
Mm.
Black women, men, and just non-binary individuals as well, people in the queer community, Black love comes in a million forms,
Absolutely.
and it's so beautiful and it's so sacred.
Hmm.
And I'm so excited to dive into your books. Like, I cannot wait to read these stories and like sink into a fuzzy, cozy blanket, get my little cozy drink,
Yes.
and like, you know, maybe put on a little bit of D'Angelo, maybe a little bit of
Yes.
Sade.
It's exactly that. That is
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
entire mood of this book.
The vibe. When I think of like a romance song, like a song that elicits like the tingles and the romantic feelings, how does it feel?
Yes, and that's on the playlist. That's on the soundtrack because it had,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a grown feel.
Yeah.
It's a it's a
Yeah.
unique sensation when you see someone and you hear that song in the back of your mind. How does it feel? I'm like, that's a different kind of beauty. That's a
That
different
is,
kind of
yeah.
handsome.
It almost makes me want to like cry. Like it's beautiful.
It's so beautiful. That or like As by Stevie Wonder.
That's also on the soundtrack. Like it has
Like
to be.
once again, like how can you not get emotional? Like that kind of love is so beautiful and deep.
Yeah.
Um, I heard someone write a poem from the perspective of a father, like giving away his daughter at the wedding and saying how like he
Mm.
loved her so much. Like she was the first like true, genuine love he felt for like another human being outside of his marriage, just a person he created.
Yeah.
And someone did a slam poem to the sound of As,
Oh my
and just
God.
that it was so beautiful.
You have to share that with me. I
I
like
will try to find it. I remember I went to like a live, it was like a poetry thing back in the day, and there, you know, you get memories as you're reading and you're like, oh, I did something like that once in real life.
Mhm.
I love poetry. I love writing it. I love experiencing it. I love showing other people how to speak and share their words in such a magical way,
Mhm.
and hearing quotes from the author directly, hearing the inspiration from you and what inspired this beautiful collection, Love in the Key of Black, is like it is like poetry to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And
I
R&B and
definitely,
music is like poetry as well.
yeah, it's all like I feel like the different art forms are just like it's all poetic in a sense.
Mm,
Even if
I
it's not
agree.
like traditional poetry, but it's like it's a
Yeah.
place of like creating words that stay with you and that stick with you for
Mm.
different moments. And I have loved hearing like people who have read my book telling me their favorite lines or like, oh my gosh, when you put that in there, it like stayed with me. And I just that's like I think that's like hopefully like every author's dream of like just having words that stick with people.
Mm. I think I can go against any genre, from romance to sci-fi to horror to nonfiction. I think everyone wants to some extent to unlock an emotion
Hmm.
similar to art. Like when you create something, let's see what that makes you feel that way. I saw some people talking about Thames' new song, like "I'm Not What You Need," and her saying the same word but like in different tones.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That is beautiful. Like I listen to this song like almost every day and I'm like
It's so good.
singing it in my car like with the different
Ethereal, ethereal. She is like otherworldly. Even that, and it's like you and me, and her
Mhm.
connection to her faith. Her, and some people have played it at their weddings.
Yeah.
Even like more upbeat songs like Beyonce, with Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Certain people, they connect with music because they have a personal story to it. And that leads me to a question for you. In Love in the Key of Black, why did you choose music as a vehicle for these short stories? Why not art or locations?
Yeah. I Music has always been there for me. Like I feel like in every stage of my life, I can remember listening to certain songs to help me heal or to get through heartbreak or when I am feeling very much in love and happy. Like I music is always in the background, different songs. Um in like different settings. And I feel like it's a love language in a lot of ways. A love language that does not get enough credit, but I feel like I love bonding with people over music. I am creating playlists all the time for different seasons in my life, sending it to people. And I love when people are like, oh my gosh, I connected with the way you organize this playlist. And like it's like a labor of love to me of like when artists create music and when musicians are playing music and when you're listening to music and like kind of interpreting their art in a way, I think it's just beautiful. So I thought that even like especially for like the Black community as well, I feel like music has throughout different time periods, music has served different purposes. Um, like civil rights or like, during like it just always has been like, the Renaissance, it's always been such this powerful vehicle for
Mm.
even protest or just like, like I just think that music is a part of our culture in such an important way. So I felt like connecting all of the stories in that way would be really powerful, but also showing music as a tool for like passion, expressing passion, and then also for healing. Getting your words out there, getting your, there's a story in my book where the male main character finally is being vulnerable and like through doing that through music. And I feel like, that's kind of been my experience with it as well.
Ooh. I love seeing vulnerability within male love interests, especially in the Black community. I feel
Yeah.
like the number one male love interest I think of when I think about that is all of that male love interest from the Green Sister series by Christina
Oh my
Forrest.
God.
Oh
Loved,
my
I
gosh.
my favorite series.
Those men are iconic
Yeah.
and complex and soft and have elements of themselves that they feel the need to protect, which is valid. Um, but the way that they love the main characters is so beautiful. And I loved seeing how Christina breathed life into that.
Yeah.
Did you find it easy to develop these love stories and to write these men? Or did you have any like real life inspirations for these men?
So no real life inspiration, I would say, but
Not yet.
not yet. And
Not yet.
I'm very hopeful, but
Yes.
um, I actually really did struggle with writing the men because I felt like, I mean, it's easier. I mean, I'm a woman, so I felt like it was easier to be very like to write the women characters.
Mm.
But the men, I was sort of like, I actually don't even know. Is this how men talk? Like, is it
Yeah,
does this
that's
feel,
reasonable.
does this feel like legit? So I did struggle a little bit with that. But I also like, I think it was helpful to think about like I want my book to feel good for all of my readers. There's happily ever afters. There is a story where, it doesn't necessarily have a clean ending. But I think overall it still makes you feel good, right? And
Mm.
so I wanted to think about writing the men in a way that like they're healing, they have worked on themselves, they're growing, they go to therapy, they like do the things that are important as men. And I think that that was sort of my inspiration that kind of helped me write these men because I thought about, and I think Kennedy Ryan always says this, and I like really admire her as a writer. Thinking about like who would be the right guy for the woman. So, you develop the woman first and then thinking about like what type of man does she need and deserve. And I think that kind of helped as well.
Ooh. I recently got to see her speak for Score with Steamy
I-
Lit.
It was amazing.
It was amazing. She is wonderful, and just being in the room with someone that bright and warm and creative is it makes you want to be even more creative.
You really do.
100%, like attracts like. I think that that's why for me, like romance movies, you could be different ages from different parts of the world, and you could have bonded over the same song or the same movie from years before you were born. You know what I mean? Like, how do you know about that? Because you may
Right.
have a connection to it. You may have a connection to it.
Yeah.
And I was looking over the playlist for your book, and a lot of the songs on here I personally listen to in my personal life.
Yeah.
For listeners who are listening, this is the first time that we've spoken like outside of emails. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And like there's a connection and a just a love for books, a love for music, and a love for love that
Yeah.
is so universal and like cozy. And it's amazing. I love that you have a couple minutes by Olivia Dean.
Mm,
You have some Alicia Keys. A Long Walk by Jill Scott is one of the first songs on here. I
yeah.
see you, you see me. Okay. I'll if I see Say Yes on here by Floetry,
Mm, mhm, mhm,
if
mhm.
that's on here, she's not playing. I cannot. I also see Miami featuring Leon Thomas. I see some Ella May, some Clothes, okay, some Coco Jones, some
Yeah.
Ari Lennox.
Yes. The playlist is very expansive. It's very long, but
Ooh, I
I could
also
not,
see some.
I was like,
I love this.
I cannot cut any of these songs. So I just have to
Oh,
you guys.
you got great. Alex Isley, my girlfriend, has compared me to her in some
Oh
elements, which
my
is a
God.
huge
I
compliment.
just saw her perform recently and I was like, oh,
You're so
yeah.
lucky.
I love
How,
going to concerts. It's another thing. So I'm always at.
how does it feel to be a winner? She's a oh, her music is so beautiful. I love her new album that just came out. Like
So good.
music is so beautiful. And one of your last songs on here is As by Stevie
Yeah.
Wonder and
I have
Found
it
with
in my book.
Thames.
Yeah. I
That
have it.
honestly, I mentioned that before I saw the playlist because that song to me is so like ah like
Beautiful.
that's the song you hear at the end of like romance movies when they're getting married.
Yeah.
Like the do 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 do.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, yep, that's the
Yeah.
best. Let's see a
I
little
already,
Summer Walker on here.
yeah.
Ooh, and
I feel
ooh.
like it's so funny because as I'm like also thinking, I'm really, my dream is for this book to be adapted to TV. And so I'm
Mm,
always thinking, okay, what like song would be for this scene? And
yeah.
like I already have it in my, like I know.
And that's how I feel as well. Like I like to listen to the playlists by the authors if there are one when I'm reading the book.
Mhm.
I also really appreciate how Jackal J does that. She did that with the Capone books, and I that was really fun. Like
Yeah.
chapter by chapter, like this song goes with this. I recommend you listen at this second. I was like, she's she's ahead of the game. She's moving faster than I can. Oh my gosh, I love this. We love like creative minds who create these books that feel so like all encompassing. So best believe that my plans to be productive today have gone a wayside. I'm sitting here, I'm like, your book's out? Oh, it's in my Kindle? Oh, yeah, I don't need to eat today. I don't need to do laundry today.
Please
I just need to
eat.
clock
You
in
can do your laundry and then
while I wait.
with the book. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
you know what?
you'll feel
I'm gonna
good.
open your book. I'm gonna like everything's gonna go black and white. I'm gonna have my box braids in. How'd they get in? Who knows? I'm a little Fanta. I'm gonna be like Alicia Keys. I'm gonna be like Kehlani in the laundromat, like
Yes.
just
Yeah.
reading, just doing
I
my
love that.
thing. Yeah, yeah. If you know, you know. The
Yeah.
girls who have a vision, it's an image of the lifestyle. You know, I'm wearing the blue bottom jeans,
Yep.
the white tank top. It's a look, it's a vibe. Like I would try to describe these things to like my girlfriend or to like my mom's husband. He'd be like, "Wait, why are you wearing jeans and a tank top? Why can't you just do laundry at home?" I'm like, "It's a vibe. It's an energy. You don't get it. It's an
The vibe
energy.
is what matters.
It's a vibe. It's the all white on the white couch, the red wine, Olivia Pope energy."
Oh my gosh, 100%.
Realistically, who's wearing all white on a white couch with a red drink?
Nobody.
But
But
it's
yeah,
the vision. It's the vision. Like
you
my girl had a whole
romanticize.
blowout, was laying in bed like I can't sleep. I know you'd be wearing a bonnet. I know you would have pimple cream
Absolutely.
on. This is fiction. This is fiction. Like
Fiction.
100%. I don't. I was trying to watch Insecure, and I remember seeing Issa Rae and like people saying like, "Oh, this is the part where like she's down, but she's coming up," and I'm like, Issa Rae was she down? Like she was always very
Right.
creative, very beautiful.
The entire
Like
time.
yeah, like people are saying like you start from the bottom and you build your way up. I'm like, was she at the bottom? Like
Yeah.
she's always
I don't think she was
awesome.
at the bottom. She was amazing the
She was
entire.
always she was I think she was on the rise. Like
Yeah.
it's
She was just
perspective.
like it shows. humanity so much and like how we have to grow and change in different seasons and learning. And I
Yeah.
think so beautiful.
That's how I feel about Abbott Elementary as well. Like certain people say, like, why can't she just see that this is the guy for her? I'm like, in real life, I don't think it goes quite like that. Like, it's not like that for everyone. Where you see the person from across the room, it's like, you will be my husband. I don't think. I
Right.
think it needs time, communication, some growth.
Yeah. And the slow burn is like beautiful too.
I agree. I will say, as the person who is like has always loved love, it's beautiful to read books where like you've got the lover girl who's like very hopeful and optimistic, and then you have the person she falls for who's maybe a little bit more down to earth and is trying to see her perspective in that.
Hmm.
There's a dual, like I don't know, there's something about that energy that I love to see on the page, and like also curvy rep, seeing black women of different body types on the page is really beautiful.
So important.
100%. Yes. I'm
I
like,
I have been loving the Black romance, like the depth and then so much like diversity within Black
mhm.
romance that I'm like, there's something for everyone.
There's something for everyone. And like, you can have steamy stories, you can have stories that have no steam and spice, but still bring that like yearning.
Yeah.
There's a love story for everyone. And in your collection, was there any story specifically that was the easiest to write and that one that was maybe a little bit more challenging?
Yeah, so I would definitely say so track one, as I mentioned, is the story that takes place in New Orleans and it's jazz inspired, jazz throughout the entire story. And surprisingly, that one was the easiest for me to write. Like, I mean, I think it was just like I reached this creative flow of like I was like researching everything that had to do with jazz bands and second
Mm.
lines in New Orleans and thinking, I was in a band when I was like a kid, right? So it was a
That's
very,
cool.
yeah, it was a very long time ago though. So I was like, oh, I need to look this up again. What is this? So I think it just like I reached this like creative flow that felt so beautiful and like, and then it's also like I was trying to like capture, I guess, a jazzy tone. So like the flow of the story is a little bit different than the others because it is like this jazz inspired tone. So that was like very fun and very like a little bit easier. And then surprisingly enough, the last story, track three, which was the story that takes place in Maryland, which is actually my hometown. That one was harder for me, which I was very surprised with. I thought it would be like the easiest since it's, where I grew up and like but I felt like it just sort of for a moment I was like, oh my gosh, this story, I don't know how it's gonna end. I don't know how the
Mm.
characters develop. And I also really wanted to kind of highlight a lot of like the DMV culture, but then I was like also like, okay, don't make it too much, don't do too, you trying to squeeze in everything into one story. I think I struggled a little bit with, but then like once I just kind of like let it, like I let the words just come on the page and stop trying to force it, I think it eventually like fell all into place.
I love that each title kind of piques the reader's interest and makes them want to dive into these stories. Intro one, which is the 495 loop.
Mhm.
Track two, Her Love, His Rhythm.
Mhm.
Or track one, Her Love, His Rhythm. Track two, The Beat of Us. Interlude, a letter to Black Love. Track three, Harmony and Seam, The Perfect Cadence. And then outro, which sounds beautiful, The Sound of Letting Go.
Yeah.
When is the album coming out? When are you going on tour? Like, this sounds like art, and I want in. Like, this sounds
Tour is
so fun.
coming soon. Tour is coming.
Yes, when your book tour comes out, like, let us know. I will happily repost on Instagram because, like, I need to be there for like a live reading. Like, I need to know
Yeah.
the tea. I want to know. I want to know. Like, if your like stories become a movie, who are you casting?
Uh,
Is Coco Jones gonna get a lead as she should?
should. She has to be. Like it's just, oh my goodness.
Come on, I
I'm
mean,
so excited for that.
why not more? That entire album
Oh my
on
gosh. One
loop.
of my most played albums of that year. It was
Same,
like
same. I taste amazing. You, the bomb.
oh
Listeners, you have to listen. Coco Jones, like I need her to get more
yeah.
attention.
She actually came out with a video recently. I didn't really listen to it the entire thing, but she
Mm.
was talking about her like process as an artist and how she felt like she wasn't actually like tapping into it in a way that I guess.
Oh
I don't want
wow.
to like misspeak because I didn't watch the whole thing, but I'm gonna go back. I've saved it because I was like, wait, what is she talking about? Because her album was one of my favorite albums. Um,
That album was amazing. If that's her not tapping in, I'm shook because
I mean,
I was in it.
was in it, like listening
I-
to it every day, all day, like
yeah, her and Normani as well. Like
oh my gosh. Yes.
Dopamine, that whole album, wonderful. Where was the tour? I'm
Yeah. Yeah, I
amazing,
know.
wonderful, awesome.
Yeah.
And for me, like You'll Always Be Mine, like Colors, like Alex Isley to me is very much like her voice is like watercolors.
Yeah.
It feels so soft and fluffy and warm. Like, mm,
Yeah.
ah, Jasmine Sullivan as well. Like, I just kind of returned back to listening to some of her music. Uh, is it? Yeah, it's BPW
Mhm.
Anthem.
Oh, so
Amazing,
good.
so good,
We have some
so
talent
good,
out there, some true talent.
so amazing. Jill Scott just released a new album.
Mhm.
Tank
Yeah.
and the Bangles released a new album.
Yeah.
Kehlani's coming through. Like, it's a good time.
Yeah, I'm always listening to music because there's so
Always.
oh, it's so
I
good.
heard Sade did a pop up recently. Like she
Oh,
performed.
I didn't know that. I'm gonna have to look it up.
Shook. I was like, what do you mean?
Oh,
I Sweetest Taboo, Your Love is King.
oh my gosh. Beautiful songs.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
awesome.
I love her. I love her. I mean, Alicia Keys as well. Like
Hmm.
all these beautiful songs are coming out. I'm a big fan of, oh my gosh, Leon Bridges. He's
Oh,
amazing.
yeah.
He's so good. Like
Oh, there
hearing,
really?
yeah, hearing Black Men Yearn.
Oh, okay. I gotta tap in.
Leon Bridges, he does his music's very like it's very much giving like folk, I guess, but
Yeah.
elements of jazz and R&B.
Yeah.
He did a cover of Pony, but he slowed it down and it was very good. Genuine's Pony. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I've heard a few of his songs, but I'm like, I need to tap in more. Okay, I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah, he's gotten very, very jazzy recently. He also did a song recently where it's called Steam, and it goes like, "Let yourself feel, you've got the heat, you've got the steam, you're coming all over me." I was like, he's steamy, like he's flirty. He also has a song called Mrs. where it's like jazzy, and he goes like, it's pretty much like fighting with a partner, and he's like, I don't know why I keep coming back. Like you get on my nerves, and then you hear a knock, 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 and he goes, you come knock, knock, knocking on my door, and then I
Oh,
remember,
oh,
and it's just so good. Like his music is amazing, and I need more people to love on him and listen to
okay.
him.
Well, you've convinced me. I need to go back and listen to more of his songs.
Yes, his songs, I think people put him under like sad music for a minute, but
Mm,
most recently, a lot of his songs, like he's dedicated songs to like his grandmother and to his mother and the Black women who've influenced who he is,
beautiful.
um, which is just beautiful. Like he describes his grandma, like her height, what she would wear. Her, I think
Oh,
her name's like Daisy May. The entire song is dedicated to
okay.
like
Actually need to listen to this
it's
ASAP.
beautiful. Like he's and like he's got this like suave about him
Mhm,
where it's like I feel like he gives the same like singing at your window energy that Bruno Mars does, but
mhm,
his feels more like if you fell in love, like Lovecraft Country
mhm,
energy. Where
mhm.
Bruno Mars to me feels like we should be on a beach somewhere.
Right.
Leon Bridges feels like we're like next to a lake, this candle's
Uh,
lit. He's singing
yeah.
to you in his truck, and he's
Yeah.
got that like old Southern twang thing going on, like
Yeah.
moonshine. Like he's that energy.
I can see that.
Bourbon. Like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like
I
that's the
I know
energy.
my homework to listen to more Leon.
Like I would love to see him as like a love interest in a book because his voice is so like, um, you're in a loop, like in a beautiful dream-like loop, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Okay.
If you ever write another short story, that man's amazing. He deserves to be someone's muse. Like he's
Okay.
wonderful.
Now I have my new inspiration. I'm excited because I
I hope you check him out. Also, hearing him live, like the way he speaks into the mic, he's
Mhm.
very much like that low, slow Southern drawl.
Oh, we love it. We
I'm
love it.
gay, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, that man's got some, that man's got something in it. He's magical. He's wonderful. He's magical. What's going on? Yeah, well, yes, yes.
Well,
Also, him and the guy, I think his name's Kofi. I think a
oh,
model and
yeah.
an actor.
Yes. I mean, yes, he is somebody that I would love to see in my book. Like
I
he
hope,
was
I
inspiration
hope.
for one of my stories. So
Well, I hope. I'm sitting here. I'm like, someone hire him. What's
yeah,
going on
yeah,
here?
yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Speaking of our male leads' interests, musical influences, who are some women that you would want, if you could, to cast in your
Mhm.
stories if they become movies or shows?
I actually definitely would cast Issa Rae if I could. I love her and The Photograph, the movie. I don't know if you've seen
I
that. Like,
loved that movie.
so beautiful. So
I loved her with the coppery hair.
yeah, just
Mm,
beautiful. And I feel like she would be perfect, especially for track two. I think she would be perfect. And Billy,
okay.
like I think it would be great. I would also love to cast, let's see. Okay, track one. I mean, this is like a stretch, but like I feel like I was inspired by Tim's in track one, so I feel like it would be cool if she could be like in that.
Okay. She's
Um,
beautiful.
it's stunning. Yeah, I don't know if she has any acting experience, but
She
still,
can do it,
right.
no doubt.
And then who else? Track three.
The beat of us.
Oh my, who did I literally have a so I like there's on Notion, I kind of created this like I guess document that shows like each of the characters that I like envisioned for each of the stories, and that's how I
That's
would find
cool.
that like each time I was writing and I was struggling a little bit with the character development, I would go back to their images and like their profiles and just think more
Mm.
deeply about it. But now I'm like blanking on who I had for track three. I haven't really had my coffee yet, but
That's okay. That's okay. I'm running on a dream. I'm
great.
running on like 4 hours of sleep and a dream, some
Oh,
water. I'm like, whoa, hate it, hate it.
wait,
um,
here's some
I feel like when someone gives you a piece of fruit and they're like, "This is the lifestyle. You went for a run. Don't you feel good?" And I'm sitting here and I'm like, "I actually despise this. I would like my pancakes, please, and I would like to snuggle up and read my books. I actually don't want to exercise today."
no, you
As
should
you should. I will say that like an actress I wish to see more on screen, who I think she is just like the queen of romance to me. Yes, it does go back to like the 90s energy, but she doesn't age, and
have.
that's okay. She was part of oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It has the guy from Brown Sugar in it, and oh my god, there's a wet. I have running on no sleep, but
Look,
like,
I'm with you.
okay, I'm gonna describe it, and then you can tell me what you think it is. Okay, okay. So this man, he's a writer, and he's fine, and he's bald,
Okay,
and
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's the best man, right?
this is the best. He's a writer. He's bald. He's kind of problematic.
The best man.
He is
There
the
we
he is the drama. He actually is the
go.
problem.
Yeah, that series is actually one of my favorites. The best man. Oh my
He
gosh.
I remember watching it as a kid and being like, "Oh, like what's so wrong with him? Like he's just trying to help his friend." You're a child,
He
and
was
then like
very,
you become an adult,
yeah,
and you're like, "Wait a minute, he's
he was,
actually horrible."
he was problematic.
But I will say that like the love interest, who I'm like, okay, please put him in everything. Morris Chestnut.
Oh my goodness. Oh, talk about
Morris
fine.
Chestnut.
Oh,
Come on. For
beautiful.
listeners who don't know who Morris Chestnut is, imagine a beautiful bald man, gorgeous soulful eyes, the mustache that has aged beautifully. He's the human equivalent of a brownie with like ice cream and the drizzle with the skillet that comes out.
Perfect. Like just perfect.
He's absolutely with a little bit of strawberry.
It
He's
has been perfect
perfect.
his entire life.
He's been perfect his entire life. He plays like the husband really well. He's been a doctor in a few shows. I think he's a doctor right now in a show. Watson. He was in Boys in the Hood. He was the one who we were all like, no. Yes,
That movie was sad, but yeah.
that was incredibly sad. But he also in The Best Man, he plays the groom in the first one, and he plays Lance. It's all coming back to me now. He
Yes.
plays Lance.
I
He's
I
fine.
oh my gosh. It's like
He's
really one of
Christian.
my favorite series.
He's
I
hardcore, like with the Lord, with the Christ,
uh,
with the
have you read
Spirit.
to read the book too? The
I
Kindle.
need to. I need to. I was gonna say Nia Long. We
Oh,
need to see her in more romance
yeah.
movies.
I love Nia Long. Like truly. I mean, that would be like the dream.
Come on, I mean, and Regina Hall.
Regina Hall, someone else I love too. Just
Like she's so funny.
an amazing actress.
She's so cute. Body tea. Like she's mm,
Funny. Like Yeah.
Can we see more love? Do you see yourself writing stories with characters who are a little bit older, maybe giving the energy of like, I have my own, but like the only thing missing is that love story? Could you see yourself?
I could definitely see myself writing that. I mean,
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's so important, and I feel like what I want from my books is for to capture different aspects of navigating relationships. I think that would be such an important one to talk about.
Ooh. After writing this collection, Love in the Key of Black, what do you learn from this experience and how are you kind of pulling it into your next projects?
I learned so much. I so one I had a writing coach at the beginning of writing, which was super helpful. We would meet like every 2 weeks just to kind of like practice writing techniques or to talk
So
about
cool.
like issues that I was having in my writing process. And at first I was like really struggling because I was having writer's block and I just was like, I don't feel like writing today. I don't know. I don't have anything to write about. And so what I learned from him, I like my biggest takeaway was like just sitting down no matter what and forcing yourself to like hold and carve out time for writing, even if you don't have any ideas. And I think once I started doing that consistently, the process was so much easier.
Mm.
So I think I would just do that from the beginning. Like just know like these are my writing block times and I'm going to do it. I think something I did that I found really helpful. I know some authors when they're writing like a romance book, they're not reading anything from the romance genre or like but for me, I felt like I was like just like taking in so much romance. Like I was watching romance movies, black romance movies. I was reading romance. I was like listening to R&B love songs. So I felt like that actually really helped to kind of romanticizing my life and like the art that I was taking in really helped inspire my book as well. So I think I would definitely do that going forward too. I learned so much with marketing in this book that like no one tells you that you you got to figure out how to market. So I learned a lot. I'm still learning a lot. So I think I would definitely take some of those lessons. And just also maybe like obviously you have deadlines from like your publisher or like whoever you're working with. So you have to kind of abide by that. But I think it's beautiful to like not force your creativity into like a box. Like obviously, like I said, I will have my writing block, I'll sit down and write. But I think there were seasons or like just like a week or two where I felt like, I'm not super like inspired by this story, so let me jump to something else. And I think just allowing myself the grace and allowing myself to really let like explore my creativity and not just kind of force it was really helpful for me too.
Mm. I did want to ask, when you look at each short story that you've written, and this is a bit of a challenge, and I had to do it to you. When you look at each short story that you've written, if you could tell listeners a little bit about it in like 2 sentences, what would you say, starting from the beginning and to the last one? I'm gonna give you the title, and then you can tell me like, okay, for someone who's never heard of this short story, how would you describe it?
Okay.
All right, this is like a teaser, like y'all come to the side of the cools. We're so cool. Okay, first one, intro, the 495 loop. How would you describe it?
Okay, so, okay, 2 sentences.
Yeah.
Okay. The 495 loop is transporting the the woman main character into different seasons in her life every time she presses play on the record. So she sees her past, her present, and her future, and she's trying to navigate um dating and the uncertainty of dating and like who will be her partner.
Okay. Track one, her love, his rhythm.
Okay. So her love, his rhythm is about learning to let go, learning to improvise, learning to adapt to a new city in New Orleans, and learning to lean into love and vulnerability.
Track two, the beat of us.
The Beat of Us explores friends to lovers and my sibling's best friend, and it really pays tribute to summer loves and on Philly block parties and community as well.
Ooh. Interlude. A letter to Black love.
A Letter to Black Love feels like a bonnet and a do-rag greeting each other in the morning and a big warm hug and a tribute to all things Black romance.
Ooh. Why did I just hear in the background of my mind, do you know that you saved me with Alicia Keys?
Oh yes.
You
Yeah.
don't know my name?
That was actually the inspiration for this book.
I love the phone call where she goes, "Hello?
Right.
Can you pick up?" She's one of the most beautiful voices, just
Oh,
speaking. I'm
oh
like, oh my gosh.
yeah.
Meanwhile, for me on a phone call, I'm like, I'm here. Can you hear me? Beep, 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 beep. Oh, son of a, like, that's the energy. Versus Alicia, she's like, hello? Yeah,
Right.
I put milk in your coffee. They tell me
Oh,
not
thank
to,
you.
but I'm sitting here, I'm like, this is what people think. You know what I mean? Like being a Black woman is this beautiful, magical as it is. But there
Yeah.
are times when it's like, I feel like Issa with the baby, where it's like,
Yeah. Like you're like awkward, like, but
it's the awkward, funny. My hair's flat on one side, it's puffy on
right.
the other. I sweated, my eyebrows gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing fits, but then also everything's too tight and it's too loose.
Yep. But also beautiful.
But also we're trying to be beautiful. You know what I mean? We're vibe. It's natural, but also it's quite a bit of effort. Like it's
All things.
it's all true. It's all real. And for anyone who tells you that it's effortless, I'm like, you're very lucky because I can speak from my experience. It is indeed not effortless.
Not at all. Never has it been.
It is quite a bit of work actually.
Yeah.
Interlude, Black girl commentary. It's true. The degrees and the patience and the compassion and the style, quite a bit of effort. It is
Hmm.
quite a bit of effort.
Hmm.
But we make it look effortless.
Yes. Yeah.
Ew. Ew. I can hear my mom in the distance. Yes, yes. Um, my mom is one of those where it's like the beauty is effortless. And she's like, yeah, you just splash some water in your face, put a little moisturizer, lip gloss, you're done. And I'm over here and I'm like, acne cream,
Right. Like all the
moisturizer,
steps.
gel. My mom's like, yeah, you just put a little bit of chapstick on, a little bit of spray, get your Sprite, we out. Me, actually, no, we're gonna need water, vitamins, sunscreen.
My big bag of
Yes, the bag full of all the things. I need to snack. I need to bring some
yeah.
water,
Yep.
like a little
Mhm.
mini deodorant for the girls who
Need
I'm
it.
fine for our lives.
Yeah.
But we can read these stories like yours and be like, oh, but we deserve love.
Not
We
at all.
deserve all of it. So I'm vibing. Okay, I'm on to the last two.
Mhm.
Track three, harmony and steam, the perfect cadence.
Okay. Harmony and steam, the perfect cadence. Okay, give me a second.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Harmony and Steam, the perfect cadence, is the perfect love story for those who are navigating their careers and navigating finding the right one. It's also a story that taps into matchmaking and dating, commentary and podcast, and it takes place at a coffee shop. So there's a lot of exciting elements to it that I think a lot of readers will love.
Ooh. Last one, outro, the sound of letting go.
The Sound of Letting Go is an intergenerational love story that taps into flashbacks to the past while also grounding readers in the very real present of sometimes having to choose whether to stay or to walk away.
Mm. Okay, as we close out this episode, I would love to ask you if you could share a line from this beautiful collection, Love in the Key of Black, with listeners so they can get a vibe and a taste for what they have to read.
Absolutely. Okay. So I'm going to share, it's going to be a little paragraph because I feel like a line was kind of hard.
I hear that.
Okay. So I followed him through the doors and placed the box of vinyls and love notes on his table. This was from my grandma May. It was meant for you, I said, my voice gentle and hesitant, unsure if my presence with a box full of love notes from my grandma was a welcome addition to his afternoon. That May always had a way with music and words, he said. And one thing I'll always admire is how she knew when to walk away and choose herself.
scene. Give her the money, give her the director, make the movie. Hear me out, hear me out.
Please.
Hear me out, hear me out. Like this sounds absolutely beautiful. That was a gorgeous line. My last question for you as we close out this episode is what makes a good love story?
Mm,
And how does Love in the Key of Black introduce something new to love?
mm. Okay, I love this question.
Thank
Um,
you.
so I would say a good love story has a few elements. I think it has character development and growth. It has, for me, it has community because love happens in so many different forms. So it happens with our families, with communities, like just even like the small interactions that you have with like the same coffee shop worker every day, right? I think it's about romanticizing your life, but also just paying attention to other types of love, in addition to romantic love. Um, and then I would say that Love in the Key of Black is different from other stories because I really truly feel like it has an element about it that is for every different type of reader. It's short stories, so if you're someone who, is just getting into romance or someone who just needs something lighter, this book is perfect for you. And then it also has different settings, different characters, different plots and conflicts. So I think there really is, different variety in romance tropes. So there's something for every type of reader. And then lastly, I will say this book is really about um, recognizing that love is an action and it's a verb. And that's something that Bell Hooks said in her book, All About Love. And so that was another aspect of an inspiration for this book, where we have some people leaning in and choosing to be more vulnerable when it comes to love. And then we have some people choosing to make the decision to either walk away or to stay, and recognizing that we all have agency in our choices around love. So I hope that you all will read Love in the Key of Black.
I was so excited to read it and for listeners to read it as well. In your own personal journey with love, both self-love and maybe love seeing it and your family seeing it with your friends. How did those experiences influence your ability to write Love in the Key of Black? Did it make it easier? Did it make it a little harder?
I would definitely say it made it easier. So, actually, a portion of this book was inspired by my grandparents. All of it is fiction, but there are some elements like in the last story, the older folks actually met at the same location where my grandparents met. So it was kind of like a I guess a tribute to my grandparents. There's an actual like handwritten love letter in the book, and that is actually a real love letter from, I guess, like files that I found from my uncle after he passed away. So there was like a whole box of love letters that he received from someone, and I was like, I really want to include that because I feel like especially today we don't really get, I mean, I don't get handwritten love notes, right? So I'm like, actually, we need to bring it back. We need to bring these like love notes, right? And so that is all to say that there are so many aspects that were inspired by family. I think even my conversations with friends, where we're talking about the woes of dating and like we're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to date anymore. It's so complicated. I tried to incorporate some of that, some of the anxiety that we feel about maybe like, are we gonna find our person? Like,
Mm.
what are we doing? So I really wanted to touch on all those aspects because I feel like um even with all the things that go into dating and romance, like at the end of the day, I hope that like people take away feeling hopefully romantic about love and just keeping that hopefulness even after heartbreak.
That's a beautiful perspective. I will say I like writing love letters. I'm a
Okay.
huge romantic, so I write my girlfriend love letters quite a bit. I wrote them on our first date.
No way.
Yes, I did. I met her and it was 2 days before her birthday, and it was too early to go to her birthday, but I wanted to do something nice for her. So I don't drive. I have really bad driving anxiety. So I actually walked from my childhood home to the nearest Publix, bought a birthday like a cupcake, walked back home, covered it in 21 candles.
Oh my
The
God.
date came. I brought my little candle lighter. I sat in her car. We were at the beach, and I lit all the candles. And I had written her like love poems and letters. I really, really liked her. I was like, I'm not great at
First day?
communicating it. Yeah, first date. I gave her love letters. I lit the candles, and I was like, I can't go to your birthday, and I'm sorry for that. So let's celebrate now.
Oh, okay,
So
that's beautiful.
thank
And
you.
yes, yes.
Yes, like when you feel, I think when, at least for me, when I feel safe with someone to be open and romantic and genuinely celebrate love, it's almost like your inner kid comes out where it's like maybe you talk more about your interests or you speak more about what makes you happy, what makes you sad. Like when people say that, like you see a woman or a man and they're like so bubbly and bright and they're so happy with their friends or with their partner, I think it's because they feel safe enough to be that way. And when you see someone who's a little bit more withdrawn and like maybe keeps their hobbies and their interests to themselves, part of me is like, it seems like something about you has been denied.
Mm,
And that is why maybe you hide those things, those more like people would describe as childish or like mannerisms that are like, oh, an adult wouldn't act that way. I have
mhm,
seen people go to a museum and stay there for 4 or 5 hours because their partner loves that
mm,
hobby. And instead of rushing them, being like, hey, we got to go A, B, and C, you are supporting that this is something that makes my partner happy. They get
mm,
to walk around a museum like a little kid and like read all the labels and see all the animals and this and
yeah,
that. And like they have the time and the patience and the care to be themselves without rush.
yeah,
If that's not love, like allowing and creating a space so someone can feel safe
yeah.
intentionally, like
And
intentionally making the time, that is such a beautiful, like,
wow,
how do you describe that feeling of like if you were writing a book and you were dating someone and they were like, hey, we have dinner at this time, we got to do this, we got to do that, instead of just sitting and being like, babe, you have this idea, you got this idea, it's like in your head, I know you're gonna get it on paper right now, I'm gonna reschedule our reservation for tomorrow night, I'm gonna make you something while you're working, like stay in your zone, like do you need music on, like light a candle, like you're in your vibe. And I love seeing that. Let's keep that vibe.
supportive, beautifulness, intentionality, all of that.
It's
Exact.
the that is love to me, like to put someone's interests and passions and care so at times above your own so that they can spread their wings and shine, and then
Yeah.
vice versa, like to be near someone who shines, to feel the warmth and to know that you created that space is so, it's a blessing, and it's a pleasure to feel, have someone feel so safe with you.
Mhm.
And outside of a romantic situation, like having younger siblings, having best friends, seeing your loved ones be able to feel joy and happiness and a safety because of you, like female friendships, like that
Yeah.
is a love story.
It's the beautifulest love story ever.
It is. It is. Like I would totally read a collection of yours if it was like love stories from the perspective of like female friendships and brotherhood,
Yeah.
siblings, like the older
Yeah.
sister,
Yeah.
like watching the younger siblings grow up. Like it's bittersweet, but it's love. Like to be that consistent
It is.
care.
Yeah. All of that. That was so beautiful the way you described
Thank you.
it.
Thank you. So I just like some of the best moments I've seen like on YouTube or on Instagram or even in real life when someone's getting married and you see their like siblings like crying or like happy for them,
Like
or like seeing
I
the dad
love
seeing the bride for the first time.
watching wedding videos and all the
I love that. Like that's also a cool like anthology idea, is like with weddings or with graduations or with big life moments. Like what it feels like to love someone so much. It's like an out of body experience. Like the love expands.
yes. Yes.
Like a family tree energy, like the granddaughter's love story, the mom and dad's love story, the siblings finding their first friend, finding like togetherness.
Hmm. All those things. And it's
If you
like,
ever want to,
yeah, now
if
I'm
you,
like, I can't wait to write more too.
for me, I just finished my first book. Me, how do you feel about another one?
Right. Are you ready?
Another one. Do it. Do it. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I cannot wait for people to read Love in the Key of Black. It is out now. Where can everyone find you? Where can they find your book? Everything will be linked to the show notes, but I just want to hear it from you.
Yeah, so my book, Love in the Key of Black, is available on Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, Walmart. We're hoping to get it into some Black-owned bookstores very soon. So I will
Yeah.
share that link with you. Um,
Okay.
And you can always follow me on social media. I'm always at author Shanti Edwards. So that's on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, also on Facebook, and my website, www.authorshantiedwards.com. Please, subscribe to my newsletter and you will stay up to date about events that are coming up. And thank you so much for having me. Like, this has been such a fun time.
Yay! I'm grateful that you came on the podcast. Everyone, please check out Love in the Key of Black. I will have the book linked in the show notes below, as well as the author's Instagram and socials. Like this on YouTube, subscribe, follow on Spotify, leave a nice little rating. Everything helps. And definitely read Love in the Key of Black. Stay cozy and have a wonderful day, y'all. I'll see you later.